So getting into it, we start with our foundational relations, which hopefully you've seen before, but if you haven't, well, maybe you're going to learn a lot today. So the first relation we have is membership. We say, you know, A is a member of A. You use \in if you're doing LaTeX. But the relation is called membership, or you can say A is an element of A, precisely when A is an element in the subset. So if you think of a subset as this, and that it's got, a bunch of little elements, a little sad little set here, then if A is inside the set, it's an element. Okay, there's not a lot to say about that, but it is quite an important relation, and the interesting thing to say about that is in some views, this is the only relationship in set theory. Like, you can picture all of set theory as this infinite directed graph where edges are given by relations. There's an edge, little a into big A, if A is a member of A. But that's not how we're going to think about it now. We're going to move on to subsets. So this symbol, as I read it, also includes a set being equal to something. So for example, any subset A, any set A will be a subset of itself by definition. And another example, say you have a proper subset, and I was trying to think of what would be a good source for examples here. And just yesterday, I watched Mean Girls for the first time. And honestly, I recommend it. I think it's pretty good. And I named here are all the characters who matter. There's Pretty Boy, Lindsay Lohan, Karen, Queen Bee, Irrelevant, Goth, and Fetch. You should try to remember them. Because, they are going to be used in all of our subsetting examples. I'm just going to be honest. And so you can take the set of the plastics, which are sort of the stereotypical pretty girls in the group, which are Fetch, Lindsay Lohan, Karen, and Queen Bee. And within that, you have the set of the old plastics. You could say the set B is the old plastics. And you have Lindsay Lohan, LL ends up here, and everybody else was a plastic and an old plastic, meaning they were plastics before Lindsay Lohan moved into whatever high school this is. And so you have Queen Bee, Karen, and Fetch are a proper subset of plastics. And so we have if we have old plastics, let's write this in black, are a subset of the plastics. But further than that, we know that old plastics are a proper subset. Now, proper is a word we use a lot in mathematics. We say something's proper when there's often a strict inequality. And you can see we use this little cut example there. And the way to write this is subset not equals. And so the old plastics, which is this subset, is a proper subset of, let's make this green, Lindsay Lohan's green, of the plastics. And this symbol is not used that often. One way to sort of think of these is you can think of this as kind of a less than or equal to, and the proper being a strict less than. There must be an element in the plastics, not in the old plastics, for the old plastics to be a proper subset. You must have a Lindsay Lohan existing somewhere in this arc band for it to be a proper subset. But you don't need that otherwise. For example, the plastics are a subset of the plastics. And the last example is not a subset. And this is just exactly when something's not a subset of something else. And the example we're going to give there is we're going to do, let's do the art people. And so the art people, if we move some stuff around, let's get these out of the way, make some room. has Lindsay Lohan, but it also has goth, which we'll make smaller, and it has irrelevant. I almost feel like I shouldn't put irrelevant in here because he really does not matter to the movie. He's supposed to be sort of comic relief, and he makes this a trio of people, but he plays no part in the plot, and so he truly lives up to his name. And so you have this set, which we're going to call the Art Nerds. And the Art Nerds, if we're going by our examples of relations, Art Nerds are not a subset. This is how you write in LaTeX. Are not, now that's weird, what did I do wrong? Are not a subset of the plastics. And for something to not be a subset of something, you need precisely some element over here. You need either a goth or an irrelevant, which shows that not every element of the subset of the Art Nerd set is in the plastic set, which we'll label here. The plastics. Oh, plastics. All right.